All right, Shalom. Call Allah Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of the millstone who were well taught me his truth. And peace and blessings be to the hopeful elect. I'm the brother Yashar, Gabar, back to you again with another lesson, a little willing to be edifying to the elect. All right. And just speaking on, about being aware, not, being deceived, all right, by these false teachers that's out here, man, spewing out madness, all right, going off, all right, not having the 100% truth, going off in doctrine, and it's many of them, man, and this is what we are giving you the warning about, to not be deceived, not become one of these zombies out here, man, that's going to be led, all right, to be destroyed, ultimately, all right, and we warning you, all right, what's to come, what to look after, but if you be taken by it, all right, that's on you, all right. So, start off with this, the book of Ezekiel, chapter 3, verse 19. It says, "Yet if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, nor his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity. But thou hast delivered thy soul." Yeah, we warning you, man, all right. Hey, we warning the wicked what? Turn from your wicked way, man. Turn from your wickedness, all right? Christianity, all right? Anything outside of this truth, is going to lead you to be put to death, all right? But if you don't want to do that, you refuse to turn from your wickedness. What it says, what? He shall die, all right? He's going to die in his iniquity, all right? Now let's get this, verse 20. Moving on, verse 20, it says, "Again, when a righteous man doeth turn from his righteousness and commit iniquity," all right? Speaking of what a man that's having this truth, go back into the world, all right? Turn from his righteousness, man. All right, so when a righteous man doeth turn from his righteousness and commit iniquity, and I lay a stumbling block before him, he shall die. Yeah, he's going to die. All right? Yeah, because what the Lord laid stumbling blocks on you. There's many stumbling blocks. All right? Money or women. All right? A job. All right? And false teachers, listening to false doctrine, man. Listening to these niggas that's going off. Telling you what the MOTB is sin. Telling you, hey, we all have the mark of the beast, all right, which is completely off, and those are stumbling blocks, all right, and this is why the Lord send them out there, man, stumbling block, going to what, having you fall, you tripping, you're falling for the okie doke, as they say. Because this false teacher then taught you something else. All right, you may have been sincere, you may have truly believed in this truth, All right, but you let some false, wicked nigga teach you something else, man. Now you don't believe, all right, that the MOTB is the C-hip. Now you don't believe, that the Lord is only going to come, for Israel, the elect. All right, now you believe everyone can be saved, All right, but hey, it's a stumbling block, man. All right, and ultimately, you're not part of that elect. The Lord wasn't dealing with you. If you be taken by it, man. All right. So it says what? "And I lay a stumbling block before him; he shall die." Yeah, you're gonna die, man. All right. It says he shall die because thou hast not given him warning. He shall die in his sin, and his righteousness, which he have done, shall not be remembered, but his blood will I require at thy hand. All right. Yeah. So that's what's going to happen. All right, but hey, we warning you, man. All right, and this is why that they hate. brothers here at GMS. Because we warning, you know, the sheep. They accuse brothers of always, rebuking. All right, but that's what's part of it. We're not getting on these you other camps, all right, for no reason, man. You know, if you're going off, you're going off. All right, and the truth hurts. You know. All right, but hey, the righteous, the elect are not going to be deceived. The elect is going to come out of it. The false teaching, the false ways you have been taught, and going to receive the truth. And the world is finding out. People are starting to see who really has the truth, man, who doesn't. Because these niggas are, is insane, man. They done sold out. They switching up the doctrine, and refuse to teach the truth. All right, because a personal beef that you have, or a personal hatred that you have towards a person, it doesn't stop the truth from being told. No matter how you feel, niggas be proud, don't want to humble down. All right, but hey, the truth is the truth, man. Hey, you can't get around that. All right, and the Lord is going to start destroying these niggas. The Lord is going to make examples of you niggas, man. So let's see what else we have. All right, moving on. Let's grab this. The book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 17. And they shall be mine, said the Lord. Yeah, who is they? The elect. All right. It says, said the Lord of hosts. And in that day, when I make up my jewels, yeah, because the elect, all right, is jewels, all right, to Yahweh Shem Yahweh, man. And it says, and I will spare them as a man spare his own son that serveth him. Yeah, the elect is going to be spared, Hey, the Lord is going to be dealing with brothers, man, all right, in that day, all right, and in the day of destruction, all right, hey, the Lord is going to deliver his elect. The Lord is going to be with his elect, when shit hit the fan. Verse 18, it says, then shall ye return and discern between the righteous and the wicked. Yeah, you have to have discernment, all right? You have to be able to discern the righteous from the wicked, man. You have to be, fully persuaded, grounded. So when you hear something that's off, it's off. You're not second guessing it. You're not, wondering. You hear certain shit, you just know, hey, this nigga is off, All right, and we see it. Like those Genesis, a certain shit when they say you like, that's off, They're wicked. They didn't took the bag. They're not saying the name anymore. There's certain things that you should have discernment about. All right. ISUPK, Tazariak, going around on what the MOTB is. All right, but it's back to the point. It says what? In discernment between righteous and the wicked. Yeah, you're supposed to have discernment. All right, or who's righteous and who wicked. It says between him that serve Yahweh and him that serve him not. Yeah. And these people of the world doesn't serve Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. All right. You have niggas in the world, don't even believe that they're Israelite. but have a following, a crowd, people listening to him. Hey, those are stumbling blocks, man. You know, all right. Don't even serve Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Serve the ancestors, you know, images. All right. But this is how you're supposed to discern who has the truth and who doesn't. You still have, here it is, going on 2026, and you still have niggas in the church, worshiping JC. They ass are finished. They're through. But we're telling you, even in this truth, being knowing you're an Israelite, there are certain guys who teach us false doctrine, and if you be led by that, you're going to be, finished too, all right? You're going to be destroyed right along with them. So, hey, be able to discern between the righteous and the wicked, man. All right? You have niggas that sold out 501c3s, behind the scene, telling them what they can teach and what they can't. All right? So, let's grab this, end it off with this, Matthew chapter 24, verse 24. For there shall arise false anointed, all right, and false prophets. Yeah, you have false anointed ones, and false prophets, man, claim they have the truth, claim the Lord is dealing with them, but the Lord ain't dealing with them for shit, man, So it says what? False prophets that shall show great signs and wonders, and so much that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. Yeah, if it was possible. All right? Showing you that the elect is not going to be deceived, all right, by these false prophets, man. The elect is not going to be deceived. The elect is going to be what? Fully grounded, fully persuaded, all the way in, man, and not being, taken by the stumbling blocks, man, So, yeah, if it was possible, they should deceive the very elect, all right? So, yeah, it's not possible, all right, that the elect is going to be deceived, man, all right? So, Lord willing, all right, this video will be edifying to the elect, giving all praises, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash, and give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who well told me his truth. Till next time, say Shalom.